Hey, this is Joe Hernandez, the voice of 𝐓𝐷𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 in Zelda Breath of the Wild, asking you to subscribe to 𝐓𝐻𝐼𝐺𝐬 and listen to our interviews and episodes together on this Zelda podcast, the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫 Gamecast. And for all the latest up-to-date news on your favorite Goron, be sure to follow me at Joe Hernandez VO.
Hello everyone and welcome. We think we have solved the biggest mystery from the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, the crazy glowing hand. Not only are we going to explain what we believe this ghostly hand is that is stopping Ganondorf and saving the life of Link, but also everything it is doing in detail, what Link's new ability is and why his hand is glowing, with of course details directly from Nintendo that help confirm it, not just pure speculation. So if you wouldn't mind, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below whose ghostly hand this is and how you think it affects Link. Starting off, Link's new abilities and his glowing hand. At some point, somehow, something happens to Link and he is able to have his hand turn green and he raises his arms like he was taking notes from Doctor Strange. But sadly, before anything happens, the video cuts away. Some people have mentioned they think that Link was cursed, and well, that's not the word we would necessarily use. We believe this ghostly hand gives Link power. How? Well, this ghostly hand is obviously a ghost or spirit of some kind. I mean, we can't see a body, face, or anything, just a floating hand. Almost like a much creepier and smaller version of Bongo Bongo's hand or any of the other bosses or enemies that had arms or hands that weren't connected to anything. All through the trailer, Link and Zelda are constantly walking past this one single item an incredible amount of times. Obviously, Nintendo did this on purpose. They didn't accidentally just throw random stuff in the only cave they would be showing off at E3. Seriously though, it's almost weird. Out of what seems like hundreds of collectible items from Breath of the Wild, we only see one type. This somewhat rare item is now everywhere. Again, Nintendo did this on purpose, and it strongly ties to Link's new abilities. All through the trailer, Link and Zelda are constantly walking past an incredible amount of one single item, Luminous Stones. The description of the Luminous Stone states, this mysterious mineral gives off a pale blue glow in the dark, which some believe to be the souls of the dead. Apparently, this stone can be used as a base to make special clothing. There it is the only item that is called mysterious. It puts off the same or at least a similar glow to that of the souls of the dead, which we can actually see with the spirits or goats of the champions, and even when we use their abilities. What else is the same color? The ghostly hand holding down Ganondorf that also saved Link. Sadly, we never see exactly how or why this mysterious hand gives its abilities to Link, but we do 100% see Link using the ability after it saves him. Like we said, it's even the same color as the spirits or ghosts of the champions that give us the ability in the original game. Even 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐝 is a perfect example of this, and it manifests in more than just a ghostly hand of some sort. It has a full ghostly body of 𝐓𝐼𝐽𝐝 back. With the description of the Luminous Stone paired with more being seen the closer we get to the room with the hand, maybe one is somehow helping the other. After all, they are both spirits or souls. However, we have a strong idea of the multiple new abilities that it does, and most of them are abilities or items that Aonuma and others at Nintendo have confirmed were meant to be in Breath of the Wild, but were cut late in development. We actually have official images of most of these as well. Most famously, they have talked about cutting the hook shot or claw shot from the game because it was just too fun, but it also broke the game by allowing the player to claw shot over most puzzles and obstacles. In their own words, it made Link feel more like Spider-Man, since you're already able to climb anything. Unlike past games where Link couldn't climb and only certain targets were able to be used with the claw shot, but this original concept artwork of the original Gerudo champion has what looks like a very basic version of a claw shot. Even the text beside it, written by Aonuma, or the director, actually says something hookshot-like.
Next, we have the whip. Not only did they remove the whip from the game, but they completely erased the Kokiri race from the face of Hyrule. So, no Kokiri champion, and no whip. The Kokiri were replaced by Koroks, and the champion spot was replaced by the Rito. As amazing as it would be to have Kokiri in the game and play through whatever divine beast and special ability it would have had, could you imagine having Breath of the Wild without the flying divine beast Va Meadow, and the ability to use 𝐓𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐝? Worst of all, no Cass, also no Hestu. Finally, the Dragonfly. Basically, it's just the beetle from Skyward Sword. but it's a dragonfly-shaped drone controlled by a special rune on the Sheikah slate. Oddly enough, the beetle was originally a rocket-propelled hand or fist. All three versions could do the same. I actually have other videos up that goes way more in depth on all of the cancelled items, not just what was mentioned here. Okay, so after that, maybe you were thinking just because these 3 items were cut doesn't mean Link's new ability would replace all of them, let alone one. And I say, Nintendo has said in almost every interview about Breath of the Wild's DLC, they would talk about how they loved so much of the stuff they originally created for the game, but they just weren't able to use them in the game without it feeling off. They would also mention how much they loved cut items, like the motorcycle and claw shot. Then, when the final DLC released, they actually gave us the motorcycle that we seen in the concept artwork. In fact, most of the stuff from DLC Pack 1 and DLC Pack 2 actually came from early concept art. And Breath of the Wild 2 began development as another DLC expansion for the original Breath of the Wild, but they had so many ideas, it became big enough to become its own game. When you look at the ghostly hand and Link's arm glowing, what purpose can it serve? We think it may be a reimagined version of the infamous piece of artwork showing Link's same arm able to switch between different uses. We can only see it doing 2 or 3 things in the trailer. It flies over or projects itself onto Ganondorf, digging its long and sharp fingers deep inside his chest to seal him and keep him frozen. The other thing, it saves Link's life. So, just from this trailer, we know it can either fly or just magically appear. It can hold and carry a lot of weight. It has super sharp claws and a powerful grip. Obviously, it must have some form of magic, as it seals or freezes Ganondorf from moving. So with Link using this ability, I could see it being a mix of 3 different items. And somewhat inspired by Midna and her magical hair, which she could use her powers to lock onto and target single or multiple enemies, make her hair grow to unbelievable sizes and the shape of a hand to defend or attack people, push or pull stuff, even things as powerful as Beast Ganon, and help Link reach further distances. As for the weapons and items, the whip can be used to disarm enemies or steal items. It can grab items that are unreachable, things that Link would easily be able to do with his Phantom Hand. The claw shot allows you to pull yourself towards certain targets, but the ability Link will have, I imagine, would have a much shorter distance. In the same way it grabbed Link and pulled him to safety, it should obviously be able to do the same, but I imagine the hand coming out and grabbing onto a target, similar to the claw shot, but then its green energy aura pulls Link towards it until Link can grab a hold of the target himself, or pull him up to a ledge that he wouldn't be able to jump high enough to reach. Similar to how Midna was able to give Link a jump boost sometimes with her magic. Finally, the dragonfly or beetle. This actually goes back to the original concept of the fist flying around and grabbing things that I mentioned earlier, but instead of being propelled by a rocket, I see it just appearing at the target you locked onto, instead of a hand actually flying around. Similar to when you cancel out the beetle, it doesn't fly back to you, it just magically vanishes and instantly appears in front of Link. We actually have a lot of other games that have abilities similar to this Phantom Hand ability, and everything else I described. So it's not like something that no one would ever do, but as creative as Nintendo is, I think they would be able to create some other unique abilities that I can't even think of. I would love to hear what you all think it could do. Hello everyone, I want to apologize for the lack of Zelda theories, top 10 videos, and Breath of the Wild 2 news or rumor breakdowns, and of course our Hylian Gamescast, where we have interviewed a lot of people who have worked in the gaming industry, including the Zelda series. We used to have a new video uploaded every single day, but due to this virus basically closing down the entire country, we have been making pennies on the dollar compared to what we used to make. So I've had to spend a lot of time doing other work, which sadly means less time for Zelda theories, news, and other videos. It really does hurt to even mention my Patreon like this. But if you all would like us to continue with new videos every day, including the Zelda theories, Breath of the Wild 2 news, leaks, and interviews with people who have worked on the Zelda series and other people in the gaming industry, please support us on patreon.com/GameOverJesse. Every dollar counts, and you can even get a lot of great rewards yourself, such as shoutouts, being a guest on videos, shirts, and more. Oh, and we actually have a huge Breath of the Wild 2 video coming in the next few days that I can't wait for everyone to see.